What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing well. So there's like 30-ish days left for the main battle pass, and usually at the time of the last 30 days, the devs start with their dev blocks for the next season, which is like next week. And also next week is the next balance change for Crossout. So today we're gonna take a look at what we can expect in that update. Now there are two news articles I want to cover. This one is from yesterday, but I want to start off with the one from last week because it was very small, only a few changes, but pretty important ones. The first adjustment is to the Golden Eagle engine. The bonus to damage protection of weapons with 2 movement parts reduced from 40 to 30%, with 6 movement parts reduced from 20 to 10%, which is a step in the right direction because 40 was wild, especially since you could combine it with different cabins and different protection modules. The Colossus engine is getting a durability buff again after it was nerfed a while back. The Yokozuna cabin speed bonus perk increased from 10 to 15%. The Hammerfall and the Breaker shotgun, man, these shotguns were treated too harshly. First, they got a range nerf, which wasn't the worst thing in the world. And then they got a energy increase. They went from 10 energy to 11 energy, which, was a little bit annoying, but people were still playing it. But the change that was the final nail in the coffin was the removal of the hit scan. That just completely killed the shotguns. Now, I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. I don't have an issue with the hit scan removal, but they do need to increase the projectile speed of the weapons that used to be hit scan. You guys might have noticed in some of my videos when I'm actually face hugging someone with my Nidhogg shotgun and still miss my shot because the guy was driving to the left or right at a relatively fast speed. There is no way I should miss a close range shot like that if I'm face hugging a target. Same thing happens with machine guns and these automatic shotguns as well. Oh yeah, and they're using ammunition as well. Right now these shotguns are pretty garbage. I used to play my Hammerfalls every single day, and ever since these changes I tried them out once or twice. I didn't like them and I never picked them up again. And you can also tell that these are garbage by their price because in most cases something's effectiveness is reflected with their price. Last time I checked, the Hammerfalls were going for like 1300 something coins, and the Breakers are one of the cheapest relics in the game right now. And in the next balance change, they only plan to reduce the energy cost back from 11 to 10 and also reduce their power score. That's basically gonna do zero, nada, zippo. I still think every item that used to be hit scan needs to get a 20% projectile speed increase right off the bat without upgrading them. They should make it so that if I'm face hugging someone and I'm shooting him in the face, I should not miss my shot even if we're moving at a fast speed. But of course, if someone is like 400 meters away, if I shoot, it should, still take a while to get there. And the last thing they mentioned in last week's post is the dependence of wheels turning on the mast changed to the same state as on the live servers. And they mentioned they decided to temporarily cancel this change as feedback on it is inconsistent and the weakening of heavy armored cars may be excessive. I don't really have anything to say about this change, but I think it's good because we've seen in the past when the devs go super hard on something trying to balance it or nerf it with like 5 changes, it never ends well. And yesterday we had a new dev block and we can already see a new type of ammo box. This is the special ammo box they're introducing in the next update. This is the new special ammo pack and its only purpose is to bridge the gap between the blue and the epic ammo pack. They didn't mention how much ammo you get from this pack, but we can assume that it's more than the blue one and less than the epic one. The new blueprint stab rework is also finally coming to the game after a lot of negative feedback last year when they announced it. There's no more auto-saving, which was probably the worst thing they could have done. And they're adding a new pop-up window with the before and after options for you to save before moving on to the next blueprint, which is actually kind of useful. It looks like the blueprint tab is now going to be on the bottom of the screen instead of the side, so we're going to have to get used to that as well, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. You can also save changes on the blueprint without the pop-up window, and all you need to do is hit Ctrl S, because that pop-up window could become a little bit annoying. I would still like to test out the new blueprint changes before it goes live, because you know how now we can just build on the fly, add something, remove something real quick, and if you want, we can save it, but we will always have a car in the garage area. I hope they don't remove that, because right now what we have is, let's say you have a build with 5 wheels. You do a match, it sucked, you just remove one and just continue to play without having to save it. Basically, your garage added as an extra blueprint. And here's the big one, boys. They're finally increasing the maximum blueprint slots up to 61. And they mentioned, it's simple, you asked for it, we did it, lol. No, you messed it up first, but you fixed it, hopefully. And they mentioned time to celebrate with a nice gift. 2 slots will be available to all players for free in the update. Now, there's no screenshot of this right now, so I cannot confirm. But what I think they're gonna do is they're gonna remove the 3 separate blueprints that you have over here one for Leviathan, one for the normal car, and one for the helicopter/walker. And also, the random build generator button is also gone. That's something I noticed the first time they announced these changes and I went on the test server. Looking at the screenshot a little bit more, I think this is what our UI is gonna look like, because I see the chat button here, I see the notifications, and I think this blueprint selection tab might be on the screen permanently. Oh no, what is this? Over here, they have a screenshot of the new blueprint chart at the exhibition. I'm gonna be honest, I freaking hate it. It's ugly. I just want to see my blueprint in the garage that I purchased or something. I don't like this. I don't know why they went ahead with this, man. Also, if you're making changes, devs, can you please stop with the freaking graph? Just give us numbers, tonnage, 2,000, acceleration, 5,000 or something. Don't give us this graph. Same thing with weapons. Stop with the graphs because they don't mean anything. It's annoying. And please, Crossout devs, consider about making changes to the background. What is this? This is an armored core. If I purchase all 6 garages, when I look at blueprints, I want to see them in that garage. Especially like the new one from the helicopters. You're outside, it's nice and bright, easy to take screenshots for thumbnails. Well, what the hell is this? What is this ugly thing? They focus on 3 main visual changes. The parameters panel is now similar to how other parameters are displayed in the game. Blueprint cars now have some features similar to the build mode. You can now see weld points zoom in and out of the car, and some reworks aimed at making the use of a controller more comfortable. I think the controller is comfortable enough. You know how I make those slow panning shots with my controller? Feels pretty comfy to me. And that's not all, fellas. There are also a lot of smaller, nice features coming. I know I sound like an asshole and I'm being a little bit sarcastic, but that's because this whole UI change is disappointing to me. I said it in my last video as well. Everybody commented, just more blueprint slots and cheaper. The only good change I see right now is the before and after before you save a build, because sometimes the UI lags behind and I'm trying to save quickly and I save over a vehicle that I wasn't intending to save over. So that's probably the only thing that I see that is really nice. Over here, they showed that if you look at a blueprint now, you can see all the welding points, but I don't see how that can be useful if I'm not in building mode. Like, how is this useful to me? The only time I want to see weld points if I'm clicking on parameters and I want to see the weld point on a build or a weapon or something. That's when I want to see weld point. Over here, when I'm not even working on the vehicle, I don't really see the point. And those were the only changes they mentioned about the UI rework. Oof, I'm not liking it, boys. Leave your feedback in the comment section down below, because I don't agree with these changes. The only change I want is the before and after when I save a vehicle, more blueprint slots, cheaper, and yeah, that's about it. I don't want this ugly looking background. I don't want to see welding points. I want numbers instead of graphs, because this doesn't tell me anything. Like in Age of Water, for example, when you're working on hulls, you can see the power that that hull provides. And if you add stuff to increase the power, you can also see that number. A good example is the top speed. Imagine if they had a graph for top speed. Oh, this vehicle is top speed is super high. Look at the graph. It's all the way maxed out. Like, come on, guys. Another thing that nobody ever talks about is the reputation bonus. Crossout has come a long way. There's way more content now. And personally, I think increasing this number is going to be beneficial for everybody. And I think that's what everybody wants, right? Except for maybe the devs. Back in the day, there was no limit to this, but this was changed very early on. So nobody really got to enjoy a match with like 1,000 more XP. Personally, I think they should increase this number again, especially with the amount of cool decor items we have in the game that actually add to your power score, because that's a good way to balance decor items. They just, give you a ton of extra power score that you don't need. But also limiting the amount of XP you get, kind of sucks. But that's just a nitpick, but I would love to see this change. The next thing they mentioned is the current game mode with collecting capsules will remain in rotation. And on top of that, they will also add another game mode where you need to capture the capsules and bring it back to base. Funny. They also mentioned that you'll be able to hold on to multiple capsules at once. That way you don't have to go back to base each time you collect a capsule. You can just farm 5 capsules, and once you run out of ammo, you can head back to base and get 5 points at once. I think they should just add a free-for-all to the rotation of the battles with helicopters and mechs. I think it's gonna make battles a lot more exciting. And the last thing they mentioned is the new set of brawls we're getting. Right now we have Drone Apocalypse, which is gonna end the night before this update. We'll be getting the Wheels of Fortune brawl, but instead of the Fortune, we'll be using the new Doom Mine Lair. We're also getting the Kaiju brawl, which was, a little bit fun but annoying, and for the Emperor brawl as well. They're also reworking the algorithm for disabling parts when a generator is destroyed in battle to allow players to customize what gets disabled when they lose extra energy from the generator. That is really good. That is something I've been talking about, well, not on camera, but a while. I even ran a couple of tests back in the day to see what would get disabled after you lost your generator. I had always thought that the last item you place on your build that consumed energy would get get disabled if you lost your generator. So I would always try to add weapons first to my build, hoping that those would last the longest, even if my generator was taken out, and add my modules later like radar, chameleon, stuff like that. But that wasn't the case. In most cases, if your generator gets taken out, you just lose a gun. Almost every time. And they're also planning to update the power score range of clan confrontation. It will now be between 7,000 and 9,000 power score. I would love to see a clan confrontation between 3 and 5,000 power score, 5 and 7, and so on. And also some bug fixes. Man, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of these changes? I don't like the UI change. I'll start with that. I do like the extra blueprints. Thank you very much, devs. And I like the before and after pop-up when you try to save a new build. I like that. Thank you, devs. I don't need no shitty background. I don't need to see welding points. And I don't need to see this screen when I'm looking at my build in my garage. I really hope they don't mess this up. I really, really, really hope they don't mess this up. Anyways, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.